live. See you guys in a sec. All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live
What
and
is
direct.
up? First episode of the year. Let's go.
All right. Just making sure my settings are good.
Let's see the last one.
All right, you guys ready to go? Let's do it, guys.
Yes,
Let's do it. Do it.
Okay. Let's get these 10 seconds of silence in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello again, everyone. New year, but same damn podcast that collides the worlds of sports and comics. Let's get this new year started. Episode 172 starts out with comic books this week. We've been gone for a couple weeks, so we still have some books to get into. DC, Image, Dark Horse, Marvel, Boom Studios, just to name a few. And we have plenty of news stories, including Jeremy Renner, the final season of The Flash, Avatar news, crazy one in politics where a U.S. congressman is sworn in with a copy of Superman #1, and we say goodbye to Barbara Walters. And over in sports, we are still coming down from that crazy game that was not even finished last night between the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals. Before we even get into anything, prayers to Damar Hamlin. But we talk about that game, the rest of Week 17, going into the final week of Week 18 of the NFL regular season, college football playoffs, and into the national championship. EPL is back, so we give an update on that, and we also say goodbye to Ken Block. All that and more on this very first episode of 2023. Let's ring in the new year with the Comic Bookies podcast. Let's do it.
Starting off the year with the bang, sir. I like that.
I had some time. I've been on the computer for an hour now, so I had time to think about it in my head.
That was a good one.
All right. Finally finishing the 6-pack. That was it. That we didn't finish.
How do I look, guys? All right.
Yeah, you look fine.
I got my ring light out of the storage.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Doesn't seem to make much of a difference though. I feel like the damn light coming off my monitor is making more of a difference in that damn.
The background makes it look hella bright too.
I mean, you do have a lot of white and light in the background with like the light blue and the sky and the sky.
That's funny that you guys mentioned that because I actually changed it. I had a picture of Damar and it was like a dark black background. It was just like way too dark. So I was like, let me go find something else. And I found this. It seemed kind of cool. So,
but I could still see like, it's cool because like when I see people do close-up videos, I can see the ring light in their eyes, in the iris of their eyes. But and I can see it in your glasses, so it still looks good.
The reflection.
Like people still know that you have it and stuff. Don't worry, it doesn't look bad.
You can see it.
Yeah. All the pros do it. It's fine.
It's all right. Damn glasses.
It's all good. Okay, everyone. Episode 172. Let's do it. Get a drink of water.
Agua.
All right. Back live in 3, 2,
1.
and 1. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 172. We hope that all of your resolutions are still standing 3 days into the year. But like always, just like in 2022, 21, 2020, and into the future, our very generous sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, Wednesday, January 4th, 2023, is the first new comic book day of the year. So go out and get your comic books. For us, our local shop is TI. They're open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So go in there and get your old and new comic books any way you can. Support those local comic book stores. And don't support websites like Whatnot and all those third-party guys that take a little chunk of everything and may or may not sell, fraudulent fake comic books. Go to the source. Go to your local comic book shops. Mark, Sean, hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's Eve. Well, I know Sean did because he was with me. We were together. 2/3 of the comic bookies were together. Unfortunately, we were missing Mark, but I hope you had a great night, sir. How did you ring in the new year, Mark? And Sean, how's your New Year's going so far?
It's good, brother. Definitely, early in the year already. Hopefully, like you said, resolutions are still standing strong for most people. But no, man, it was a good New Year, like you said, man. We visited you guys, you, Danielle, Maddie, and Cam. And yeah, just hung out, kept it low key, did what parents do, hang out with the kids and just chill, ate, drank, and enjoy good company. So, hey, we definitely missed Mark, though. I know you're with family and Lizzie, of course, and Patty. But overall, how was yours, New Year's also, Mark?
What's up, guys? Happy New Year and Happy New Year to the fans as well. Thank you for asking, brother. Man, it was good, just a very, very rainy day, just like we are going to have here in the Bay Area tomorrow and Thursday as well. Just some crazy weather. Finally getting what I guess California's been deserving with all these droughts lately and whatnot. Let's just fill up these reservoirs and lakes again. Get some snow-capped mountains up in the Sierras and have that shit melt, baby. So, very, very good games that day, just spending time in the cold and the rain indoors with the family and just being ready to celebrate and ring in the new year. Just felt a little bit different this year. As like some of the celebrations, I mean, you guys weren't watching it, obviously you guys were together, but with my parents, whatnot, having like the TV on and just didn't seem as like lively around in New York where they usually have it and whatnot. But let's see, man. Hopefully we can avoid a recession, which I personally think we already in one, but we'll see what 2023 brings us. I just hope that personally going forward, for the podcast, for, as Mike's mentioned, our sponsor, Treasure Island, just hopefully we have some prosperous years and that many positive things come our way for ourselves and our families and our fans, health-wise and monetary-wise, if you will, and that things are all good, man. But I'm excited after taking a week off. Excited to get back with you guys. You know how it is. Take a week off. Feels like an eternity here when we do this podcast. But 172, we're back, ready to deliver. Yes, I got my ring light. Hopefully, keep makes it a little bit better for those watching live. And let's have some fun, man. Got some good stories to talk about, some bad stories, tragic stories. But we're going to get it all in and wrapped up for you guys in 172, man. Thank you. Let's do it.
It's crazy how you talk about the recession because we will be helping our fans monetarily wise as we will be having our first giveaway starting this weekend. So I have 10 books and a couple from our very, our own. It's right over there. I think I see the book that I'm going to contribute to it right over there in my garage. But I'll be posting it on Instagram later this week on Saturday. So, but oh my God, Mark, that meme that you sent us earlier today, where it was, our parents back in the 60s or 70s or whatever. Oh, hey, honey, we have what was it again? Like, hey, we just bought a house. We want to have some kids or whatever. It was like, it was so easy. And then it was me in my 30s now. It was like, oh, I just spent $23.95 for 3 apples and a whatever. Oh my God, it was
exactly.
No, it was like
12 eggs.
It was like 6 eggs and 3 apples. I spent 20.
It's also like that meme I sent you guys the other day of Macaulay Culkin and Mr. Kevin McAllister in Home Alone
for like $12.
I said $19. Those 2 bags of groceries that bust as he's walking home. I just want to know how the hell he got all that for $19. You get 2 bags that big these days. You're looking at anywhere
30,
between
40.
45 and 60.
I got a huge gift card from Costco from my parents. That was like their gift to us. And they wanted us to get get something get like a knife set or get like something like a household appliance. I was like, absolutely not. Like we ran into like the weekend from hell where we needed like baby wipes, diapers, dog food, trash bags. We needed everything, and we spent the whole goddamn gift card. But it was like,
your gift card might not even covered it.
No, we had to spend like $38 out of our own money. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, thank God. But we did get everything. But yeah, the years
and I mean it's going to be a big week actually for our economy early in this year, because like tomorrow, just for anybody that might be listening or anybody that's interested, you get like all manufacturing type of datas and like job openings and stuff. As people know, the Fed wants to slow the economy down and whatnot. Now you got like non-farm payrolls on Friday, and the inflation number, the consumer price index, is going to be printed next week. So it's been coming down since the summer, since we had like 9% inflation. It's crazy, man. Let's get those like eggs and butter and those damn apples down.
I got the wrapped up 3-pack of eggs. Don't you worry, buddy. I got all that shit. So
I got Mr. Ferris's chickens in the backyard, so we're doing just fine.
Dude, I know, like
All organic.
You guys in the backyard, freaking Forrest over there with his 3 or 4 chickens,
Right.
man, had eggs every day and didn't have to spend a freaking penny. So, man, but it's good to see you guys' faces again for the new year. It's great to see everyone. I've been trying to get those shorts out and everything, and it's been working pretty well. I mean, yeah, I'm not getting thousands of views, but man, thank you so much to all the supporters out there. It may come up as an algorithm as you're just swiping, but hey, it counts as like, the one I did last week was 800 views. The one I did last night was 400 views. So thank you so much. Hopefully you can listen to at least the first 30 seconds where I tell you to subscribe to the channel. But yeah, thanks a lot. It means a lot to all of us and for the growth and definitely to the start of the new year when we have new things coming. Hopefully new endeavors, possibly a second show to put on the Comic Bookies network. We don't know, but we will see in the coming weeks. So let's do it, guys. Let's start the comic book section off right. DC this week. I'm kind of thrown off, actually, because I sent my list into Alex, and he goes, hey, this is from last week, so I have no idea if this is actually this week's books, but I get it from that site. I should probably get it from TI's site, but here we go. Supposedly, this week, January 4th, 2023, DC gives us Batman 131,
31, yeah.
Dark Knights of Steel 9, Poison Ivy 8, Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing number 4, and Gotham City Year 1 number 4. And he told me that the Joker book, Gotham City Year 1, and Batman were all from last week. Granted, we didn't get our books last week because he was closed, but that's kind of weird. Anyways, the Marvel gives us the Avengers 64, X-Force 36, X-Men Red 10, Spider-Man number 4, and Fantastic Four number 3. That's a tongue twister. Image gives us just a couple this week, Stillwater 17 and Spawn 337. Boom Studios gives us a new book called Mosley, number 1. Dark Horse with a new book called Spy Superb, number 1. And AWA gives us Trojan, number 1. Hopefully this book is a lot better than USC's performance yesterday, especially late in the game against Tulane. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. All right, guys, let's get into it. So we have been gone for 2 weeks. So obviously it's kind of a short stack this week. I'm only getting... Well, actually combined, I'm getting like 17 books because I had a huge stack last week on the 28th. But anything you guys are excited for you're getting over the last 2 weeks new, or what you were excited about that you read over the last 2 weeks over the holiday weekend?
Well, we actually talked about before Mark jumped on. I'm really, really liking Junkyard Joe, bro. Junkyard Joe,
it's really good.
Really good.
And like, what did we say? We said that the young girl who was supposedly going to have an interest in him because she's an artist and he's an artist, she's going to have a prominent role. Watch that. Obviously, we knew.
Yeah.
Like the writing's on the wall that her and the family are going to get caught in the crossfire, like the old game when we were kids. They're going to get caught in the crossfire with the guys who are trying to hunt down Junkyard Joe, the guys who are wearing the same masks as him, right?
Yeah. And you can see like those kids, I mean, just from the beginning, obviously the dad goes over to visit, the artist from the Junkyard Joe cartoons, and he's just like, nah, get out of here. He knows Junkyard Joe's in the house, like doing all these chores for him, like cleaning everything and stuff like that. Then of course the kids go to school, like the new kids in any new city, and they're just getting teased and they're hating it.
It's a classic. It's one of those classic stories. The oldest sister's the cool girl that needs to fit in, makes fun of the middle child. She's that kind of the outsider, and then you have like the younger brother who's like the funny, like the comic relief, right, of the 3 siblings. So it's a classic. It's a classic. Not very platonic family because the mom's not there. Unfortunately, we find out that she died. So yeah.
Typical car ride to school, all the kids just making fun of each other, talking hellish shit to each other. And then, of course, how the story actually ends this issue with the daughter going to the neighbor's house, and she actually sees Junkyard Joe. And what we said in the beginning, one of these kids or the whole family's going to have a big role. They're going to obviously find out. But it was the daughter who found out, the older daughter. So the next issue, it should be good. We actually should see, obviously, those characters that are looking for Junkyard Joe also, because we didn't see him in this issue.
I mean, it's crazy, too, because you feel that we're in this Geiger universe, right? We're in this Geiger universe with Junkyard Joe, and on the side, it's an episode of Family Matters. It's an episode of Full House. It's
all
like
one.
the only reason why we left and came here is because you can't handle being there when mom's dead. You can't handle it being over there. You had to just escape. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty crazy how you can mix in just a regular schmegular, family issues within the book of like something that's going to go freaking down when those guys find that family, find Junkyard Joe, find the
They're all going to get caught up in it, of course. Dude. I mean, the daughter is...
It's going to be... Yeah. I hope this is more than 6 issues, because we're already halfway done. This is number 3.
Yeah, it's definitely good. That's definitely the first book and the big one that, I loved reading. And then, of course, my gosh, what did I read right before we even finished reading?
Jesus, Sean.
Hold on. Strange
Academy finals, yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually all right too. It was actually all right too. I mean, of course, they say in the beginning they have like a lot of the kids coming back, like coming for the weekend, bringing some old characters back, have a little barbecue, and of course it's there, AKA come clean up the damn school, and of course, all along they're trying to look for our old little buddy, a little chubby boy, little drug dealer over here, freaking
Calvin.
What's his name again? Calvin.
Right. I mean, like we saw in the previous issue, they were like, maybe what Emily or whatever her name is, maybe what she's trying to do is not the right thing. So they like, all right, like tail between their legs, they go back to Strange Academy, and now they're just trying to clean up and kind of get things back to normal. But so, I mean, kind of one of those in between issues. But at the same time, God, what's her name? Like, starts with God dang it. But when she turns into like the zombie or whatever, so cool.
Dude, she is.
It's kind of. You know what? I like these issues. Some of these Marvel issues that they show the people who are going to be in the issue at the beginning.
Yeah.
What's her name? Her name is.
Are you serious? In the 3rd or 4th
Zoe.
page.
I knew it was Z. Yes. Zoe. So yeah, I mean, just a great book. I think it's one of those ones like we've been saying from like the 2nd, 3rd issue of just Strange Academy. It's a kid's story, right?
But it's fun.
But it's
good.
Fun. It's got some adult, kind of humor to it, adult themes to it.
The interaction between the characters are really good, actually. They're like some punk ass kids, but they're kids with powers and.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. No, so yeah, those two definitely stopped me for sure this week.
What about you, Mark?
What I got a question for you guys. What do you guys say would consider makes up, or what's the definition of a crime noir, if you will, genre?
Okay,
like
Mark.
what would you say is difference between a crime and a crime noir?
Let me tell you something. Let me break it down to you. I took a college class on theater, and it actually was. We took a class on the different generations and eras of theater and movies, and one of the movies that we had to watch was like LA Confidential, and it was set in like it was set in like that type of noir. Like kind of you have the dirty cop, or you have the cop that's like he's got the drinking problem. He either beats his wife or he doesn't have a wife. Like
gambling problem.
Like she left, right? Kind of like, I don't know if you played this game, Sean, but what was the...
Come on now, bro. Of course we did.
Like LA Noir, right? LA Noir.
It was LA Noir. It was actual video game. It was a definition of a straight like.
It was right after World War II. It was in LA when the freeway system was just being made down there in LA, and it was one of the first games where the facial recognition, like you had to look at their facial features and their expressions to see if they were telling a lie or telling the truth. It was really cool. Like you were a detective. That's who the main character was. So I would say, just a crime. I mean, you have a crime like, Lethal Weapon, or like one of those, just like Blue Streak, just like maybe some detective work, but like a noir kind of feels more old school.
Dick Tracy,
like Dick Tracy kind of thing.
Old school. What's that one movie?
Like the comic book. Like the comic book should almost be 100% black and white, to me. I don't know. Like a noir just feels like it should be black and white.
Who's in Deadpool 2? The electric dude.
Deadpool 2?
Yes. What's the guy's name? Ends up helping them.
The electric guy.
Oh my god. The guy who plays Thanos. That character. What's his name?
Cable.
Cable. What's
Electric
that
guy.
one movie? What's that
What
one
the
movie that? What's that one movie that Cable is in? Not Cable, but that actual actor's in.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. God damn
That's
it.
a noir.
Oh,
That's
shit.
a noir.
Yeah.
That is actually a damn good movie too. That's a classic. See, the thing is too, even I think noirs also
You're
have
right.
like the kind of criminals too. It's kind of those like, just freaking like those like zip suits type of just like
Zoot suits.
old school
You're
zoot
right.
suits type. Yeah.
There you go. Remember that song, Zoot Suit Riot? Zoot Suit Riot.
So you guys would say that you guys like that
Oh
genre.
hell yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
They're dope.
And that's exactly why it's one of my favorite books coming out this week, guys. Yes. Pretty good DC offerings this week for me, guys, coming up. I'd say this Gotham City Year 1, number 4 is dropping. Sean, you're not on it. I wish you would have been, because it's exactly all the stuff you were just describing. This is kind of like how it is, except not just the black and white art. But Mike, you're on it. I know you love it, so that's just I'm of course it's a Tom King, so I had to grab it. But I'm really excited about that one. It's obviously it's like the cop too, like you guys are just mentioning with the cops, and that one lady came kind of like from the other side of town where the Waynes were trying to build that factory or something that was going to kind of give off pollution or whatnot. Supposedly they had the Wayne's daughter and whatnot, and just kind of crazy now that the doctor had to deliver the messages and is all caught up in helping the mom.
Right.
So it's just I'm really digging that story. The Joker, the man who stopped laughing, is right on par with number 4 of Gotham City Year 1, not being probably as good, but like I mentioned, Mike, number 3 did pick it up. I don't know if you feel me on that one. I really did enjoy number 3. It's getting good. Hopefully it keeps getting better. But that's a number 4 offering. And just, of course, right, just Batman coming up, 131 that we're going to get.
Right.
Obviously, it's the start of a new arc here with Failsafe finally being failed and defeated by Bruce. And just excited to see. I mean, I think, I'm reading, 3 books with Zdarsky on it right now, right? The Public Domain. I'm reading the Daredevil, and I'm reading Batman. I'd probably say that maybe I'm enjoying Batman. Daredevil a little bit more than I did his last arc, or his Batman arc.
Yeah. So you're reading the Public Domain. Is that still going on?
It is, but I haven't gotten it,
Right.
which is funny because I've actually questioned myself about 3 weeks ago of what happened to that book. I want it.
Because I'm on 3 chips too, because I'm on Stillwater still.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're on 3 chips.
3 chips. I got 3 chips on the table. Just to cut in
Nice.
real quick, Matt Bedwell, love you boys. Good night. Good night, Matt.
Eddie boy.
Edward.
Thank you so
brother.
much for chiming in. Go ahead. Continue, Mark. Sorry.
No, just that's pretty much. I'm also getting Sentinel of Liberty, Captain America. That's, I think, and maybe 1 or 2 more, but looking like not too much of a big week for me, but gonna enjoy what I do get. And what I did read, if you guys want to get into some of those, unless you guys got something you guys are getting this week you guys are interested in. T.I.'s always dishing out the heat for us, so go ahead, spit it.
That would probably be just from last week. I kind of forgot what my 12 books I'm getting from last week, so I'm not going to kind of go in and kind of delve into it, but I'll get into it next week when I actually receive them and read them. But I think you kind of nailed it on all the ones that I'm getting. I'm getting Stillwater 17, so another Chip's coming here with another book this week, but dude,
I hate that I dropped that, to tell you the truth.
Stillwater?
I mean, sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
it's a roller coaster. It's got some up and down moments, it's like, and at this point, like
and I
it can
wasn't
end.
really a Chip
I'm just saying,
guy.
it can end.
Okay, it can end.
It can end. Like 17's coming out. Give me 3 solid arcs. Give me a freaking finale at 18, an explosive ending, and then just end it.
Like Ernie Ray Clementine, right? At a certain point, you're kind of like,
but this is not as bad as some of the issues of Scumbag.
Oh, okay.
So,
but I wasn't as into Chip back then. I wasn't too familiar with him. Pardon my ignorance, if you will, but he seemed to me personally from these 3 years, or going forward right now, almost, Jesus, he seemed to really be blowing up on the scene now, writing for all types of publishers, and really enjoy it. If I would have stayed with Stillwater, I would have had 4 chips.
4 chips. I will say that I texted you guys late 2 nights ago that I read one of my favorite Alien issues of all time. It was a classic. Like, I'm trying to explain it the best way I can, Sean, is that this mission is they're like they're like synths, right? So they're like they look human, right? These 5 people, but they're not. Like, they were made, right? So they're the best chance we have at going to this planet, getting this egg, and then delivering it to, of course, the corporation. But they can of course save our world, right? So the humans that are surviving on this planet at the end of the previous issue have trapped them inside this little area with Mother. Like I showed you the page a couple weeks ago. So an all-out battle. One of the 5 gets their heads chopped off, like gone, like she's dead. And one of the humans in the struggle, or the struggle was in the previous issue, was she got like scratched. Like she got like, remember the whole zombie thing where like, but she doesn't want to tell anybody, like, oh no, I'm fine. But she got a freaking bite mark on the back of your arm. Forget it. Oh, dude. And so the humans try to take the synth's shuttle back to where they're from, because they're like, you know what, let's regroup, let's get back. And all of a sudden they escape from that room where the mother is. Yeah. And they see the shuttle going down. Like, oh, what the hell? Because she finally turned when they were taking off, and she took out that whole ship, and now it's freaking going. It's all out. And she looks, let me show you what she freaking looks like, bro. She looks like, oh, God, it's freaking disgusting.
So she made the transformation. Oh.
Yeah, bro, she looks freaking nasty. Like, she doesn't obviously look like the alien, but her arms and everything are extended like she has, and she, like, screams like them. Oh, ugh. Freaking freaky. That Traveling Mars one is pretty good. It's like Mark. It's Ernie Ray Clementine. He's going to Mars, and he's just gonna, I don't know. But the whole issue was it's like just a journal, right? Like, you guys sometimes don't like that inner monologue. The whole story is his journal to himself, but he finally gets to call his mom from the shuttle. She's crying. She's like, "Why didn't you tell me I'm your mother?" Blah, blah, blah. And so it's a bunch of stuff. Deadliest Bouquet. Oh man, unfortunately, I got to give this a top 10 worst finishes of all time, guys. Not good at all.
No
good. The beginning of the story was fire, but as it progressed, it was just became drama between the 3 sisters, and then the ending was kind of blah. R.L. Stein's Stuff of Nightmares, pretty decent ending. It's only 4 issues, so hopefully I can get it. Hopefully it's one of those things where Stuff of Nightmares number 5 comes out, and it's another R.L. Stein story, right? Or it's like Tales from the Crypt, where this guy's like, he's the narrator. Hey guys, come in here, let me tell you a story, or whatever. So that was good. Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, R.I.P. to Kilowog and John Stewart Green Lantern. They both died in this story, so R.I.P. to them. And that's all I got pretty much, besides, of course, if we want to talk about Flash.
We do want to talk about Flash, and I have one actually to talk about Flash after we talk about Flash, but I want to talk about one before we talk about Flash.
Flash before we talk about the Flash. Okay, cool.
Flash, right?
That's how fast the Flash is, right? So let me just this book right here, if you guys can see it.
Hopefully that goes. It comes and goes in the Flash.
Yeah, it comes and goes in the Flash because of the background. Berserker, guys, by Boom Studios. Obviously, you guys know I got on it, over a year ago, probably now, because we're obviously on issue 11, probably over a year ago, because they've taken some time.
Batman, Catwoman.
And I don't know how many issues. I don't think you ever got on it, but Mike, I think you might have gotten 1 or 2, maybe 3 issues, and you hopped off of it.
It was
quicker than the Flash could have told you to hop off of it.
It was 3 or 4, yeah.
So, and I applaud you for that. Let's hit the applaud button.
Oh, if we had the little button.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Little sound effects. We got to get something like that, man. We still got it. With 2023,
soundboard.
We got ambitions.
And would be clutch.
Sean, how many points do you have? How many points do you have? Let's get by
I got 600 more today.
All right.
Oh,
Mark,
they have that?
I got 600 more today. I mean, hey.
They have
Sean,
that?
Thanks for coming. Sean, thanks for coming into the office today. Here's 600 points.
600 points.
Go ahead, Mark. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Pardon us as these guys talk about their company loyalty points. Berserker, Keanu Reeves, Matt Kent. It's on issue 11. It's been up and down. I would say it's probably been more down. I am disappointed. I was thinking with the name like Keanu Reeves, Matt Kent. I obviously was, reading some of his books before and just, I was expecting more. To me, it feels like maybe Matt was maybe too busy of a guy. It seems like it's those issues where it's a lot more art than like words. And, it's all right. I get the story. I think it could have been portrayed a little bit differently, but, it's, he wrote it and it's his, masterpiece, if you will. Right. But, let us know if you guys enjoyed it. Berserker.
I got a question for you, Mark. With Keanu being on this book, do you think that he immediately, when he was pushing this book, was also at the same time trying to pimp like it becoming a TV show or a movie? Because when this was first being kind of previewed and everything, and I saw some of the issues, and I was like, wow, that's not a lot of dialogue, right? To justify me spending $3 or $4 for this book, but they could make this a damn good like Amazon Prime TV show with hella gore, going through the years and progressions like a damn Assassin's Creed type of thing, and trying to get to like the bottom of why he's like him. I don't know I don't know how the story has progressed since I've jumped off. But do you think that this would have, like, you're saying that maybe the comic book medium is not the right medium for this story? Do you think a TV show or a movie would have been better?
Possibly. Yeah. I think it probably would have been better than putting us through like a year and a half of this book. It's funny because you just mentioned that with this issue 11 actually ends with the doctor that's been, checking him and whatever, and they ask him like, how do you feel? And he's like, mortal. And it pretty much like kind of ends. And then we're going to get issue number 12, which I think is the last, and they're going to take I think it's going to be like an oversized issue. They're going to take a little bit more time on it. So hopefully that maybe it can like accumulate to something good in 12, because let's just say after it's 12 issues, I'd say like maybe 5 were really good and the rest weren't really that great. So it's like, it's not horrible, but I was just expecting more from a guy trying to break into comics or whatever, make it a show, if you will, like you said. And with a guy like Matt Kent on it, like you said, I thought there'd be more dialogue, just a little bit more storyline to it. A lot of it just kind of got mixed up in the jumble, I think, in those middle issues. But, I stuck through it, and maybe because it was easy reads, it's just I have a fat stack. Oh man, I'm getting to Berserker. Oh, I know I can probably get through it in like about 8-9 minutes. So 7, 8, 9 minutes. So stuck with it. See what it, gave Keanu Reeves a chance. I don't want to give Keanu a Reeve. That's for damn sure. I know he hangs out in San Francisco.
I don't know what a Reeve is, but maybe.
You don't want to know what a Reeve is, asshole. But nonetheless, man, let's get into Flash, and I got one more I want to talk about with you guys, which I'm disappointed in you guys. I'm disappointed. You guys see me wagging my finger, giving you guys the Matumbo. Disappointed.
I have one more.
Let's get into the Flash,
I have one more
man.
too.
What did you?
That one right there.
Go ahead. Go first.
No. Go ahead. Let's do Flash first, because
Go ahead.
No, because Flash is good, man. So Pied Piper, Sean, when we see Pied Piper in the TV show and everything, he's the male version, but now it's the female version of Pied Piper. So, and I totally forgot. I think it was somewhere, maybe during Williamson's run, or maybe it was before. But Pied Piper somehow along in this universe is good, right? So Pied Piper then visits the house, and you know what? No, it's a guy. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. I thought, you know what? It was in my own head. When I was first seeing the first couple panels, I was like, hey, they made her a female. That's pretty cool. But then I saw the jawline, and then I started to assume. I was like,
jawline.
and then I started to get all 2023, like, oh no, I can't be assuming. But then I saw like Hartley and stuff, so I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, no.
Was it the long? Was it the long golden hair, like sunshine?
It was sunshine.
It was sunshine there for sure.
Yeah, right. So, but it. So I think so. So what do you guys think it's going to be? They pretty much like solved everything in one issue. It wasn't even the old warden it wasn't even him having powers. It was something that took control of him that he got then out of him. So what the hell's going to go?
Yeah, so who is that? Lord Law of Order or something?
Right. So
yeah, they took over Gregory Wolf, right?
Yes. So I mean, so what's going to happen? Is it going to be an ongoing issue with this entity kind of taking over other things, or is there going to be other entities? It kind of feels like it's the did you guys jump on this when we were Flash year 1 and then the Flash and then all of the other I forgot what it was. But man, I mean, the best part of this issue I think was the was the ad for Catwoman number 50 where Punchline and Catwoman are going to be fighting. I don't know. It was like the Rogues were a part of the GCPD, and then they weren't in a matter of 2-3 issues.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Stop with this in between stuff. Like sometimes I don't like when Batman or Detective to have these long drawn out 6 to 12 issue ongoing themes or arcs. But the Flash is like, it seems like 3 issues done. 3 issues, like stop. Like keep something going. Shit, man.
Yeah. You know what? I wasn't thinking about it that way, but you're right. In this case, I think it would have been cool to see the Rogues kind of, go through the city as security and kind of build this story a little bit more. And yeah, you're right. Is it going to be ongoing or?
Like you have the ongoing theme of like the kids getting the powers and then the wife getting the powers. You have that in the background with Wally West, right? Since he took over the mantle of the Flash, right? Mm-hmm. Since Barry left to go save the Justice League in this Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, which is now done.
And now the wife's pregnant too.
And now she's pregnant. So we're going to have this whole thing going on in the background, but then we're going to have like villains and stuff that only last a handful of issues. And I kind of have an issue with that.
Do you think it's Jeremy Adams, the writer, trying to maybe mix something in before the new year, before he gets something going, like more with a longer duration?
I hope so.
Time?
I hope so. I hope it leads into something that's, maybe this whole like Lazarus Planet, like this whole big thing that's going to happen in 2023. Maybe it's leading into something like that. But I hope to God that now that the Justice League is back, Barry Allen's back, I hope that Wally doesn't leave, because we jumped in, because remember in the 80s, Barry Allen was killed during Crisis on Infinite Earths. So they had Wally West for years and years, and then they brought Barry Allen back. So we've only known Barry Allen, but we know Wally West was, and then Wally West was the one that happened. Everything happened with him in Heroes in Crisis, the Tom King story where he killed a couple people at that house. And that kind of was like a mental, like a hospital, right? Like a PTSD kind of thing for people who were supers, but. Man, I think I need to have a solid 6 to 12 issue arc with a really, really big bad guy, like a Gorilla Grodd or something like that, or a Reverse Flash, but with Wally West, not Barry Allen. I hope that I get that coming into the new year.
The one thing keeping me, like the one thing actually keeping me like really liking this story actually is the whole family aspect of it. Right. I like that part of this whole like theme that we've been getting with Adams and this whole all these arcs and whatnot. And even though, like you said, even though they keep switching bad guys and whatever, they keeping this like family nucleus together, the family's growing. So it's like that's the one part of the story that I am really digging. So
completely agree with you.
Can't really give up on the Flash, I guess. I mean, I guess you can, but it's been one of the 3-4 books that I've been getting religiously since I started this podcast. We started this podcast, so I'm just gonna keep getting it. Right. Just
speaking of the Flash, though, I will say going from the Flash to the Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, my last book of the week, number 7 of 7, a huge battle. Look at how Deathstroke looks like. Look at him.
Deathstroke's badass. He's bad. That boy's swole. Damn.
Totally takes over what Pariah, when he kind of got rid of the Infinite Earths, right? And he helped kill the Justice League for a second. Now they're back fighting him, but Deathstroke completely took out the Titans. Titans Tower in San Francisco is completely fallen apart. There's a huge battle, and the key to this whole thing is Mr. Dick Grayson himself, Nightwing, who sees the light And he finishes, Black Adam is a huge help to this. Black Adam gives part of himself to every single hero in the DC universe. Look at that. All that power going through every single person in the Justice
Superman
League.
right there too.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
They defeat, Deathstroke. They kind of put everything back to normal as what it would be. And then finally, I send you guys the picture. There's some powers that be. I didn't show you this picture, but I will show it to you now. But the epilogue of the story, Miss Amanda Waller is up to it again. So she's talking to whoever the hell those group of white, silhouettes are. I don't know who that is, but that picture I sent you guys last night.
Easy. 2023, buddy. A group of white what?
Oh, if you watch this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, watch it. It's actually the color white.
It is.
But who the hell is this? So you have Peacemaker, obviously, if you know from the Suicide Squad,
Yep,
and maybe
John Cena.
and maybe Lady Peacemaker right next to him. But this one right here, what is this? This is like a Joker in a Batman suit with the Superman logo right here. He's got a yellow lantern ring right here. What the hell is he doing? And then this guy, that guy looks like the Batman who laughs.
Well, that's the one you text us that night. Late
Batman
at
who
night.
Batman who laughs. It looks like he's in
looking.
like a doomsday suit. Like, what the hell is going on? So maybe that is something to do with this Lazarus planet. I don't know. But either way, great end of the story.
I like it.
Definitely one of those like big stories that's like, oh, fuck, another freaking story. Pretty good. Anyways, I'm done. Mark, you have one more.
My last one. Sean, you got one?
No, keep rolling.
I got my here, guys. I'm disappointed in you, especially Mike. I think you really would have liked this one. Sean, you too. But Batman Incorporated, man.
Oh,
Batman
no.
Incorporated. I just read number 3, man. And dude, this is probably one of my favorite stories going right now. We talk about a lot of times how books kind of take a while to get into it. we still having, or we still have this ongoing laughter with Alex from Treasure Island about the Spider-Man. Like, what the hell did he do, right? We're so many books in and whatnot. But this one's like getting right into it. Obviously, just a little refresher. Batman Incorporated was after the whole Tamaki run for Detective. Basically, when Batman and she was leaving, obviously Ram V took over, but she left. She created like this world with Peacemaker, and she created basically Clown Hunter, one of the guys that or I don't know if she created Clown Hunter.
I think Tynion did.
Tynion, yeah. Sorry. Okay, sorry. But anyway, we got all these new characters, and basically they got spun off into this book, Batman Incorporated, and Batman basically put a group together to go, fight crime, basically like kind of more like internationally. And he put not Peacemaker. You guys confused me earlier. Ghostmaker. Yeah. He put Ghostmaker together to kind of be in control of these different groups. So Ghostmaker gets all these people, all these heroes and whatnot, and he sends some to over here, some to over there. Why is he sending them there? Because it's funny that they find out, and this was we're only in 3rd issue in, and obviously they find out that the people that are being killed is Ghostmaker's like older teachers that taught him to become like who he is, right?
Oh, shit.
So they're going, so he's sending everyone to go find out why they're being killed, right? So in this issue, man, this is great, man, because we love Clown Hunter, right? We wish that he would have been like more ongoing in these stories, we thought, right? Obviously he wasn't, but this book, so he could be a big take on why I'm reading this book. But he basically gets kidnapped by I have to look at his name, but he gets kidnapped by this guy, and he gets put in like this steel truck, basically, because Ghostmaker has a chip, like an air tag on all of these heroes that he's sending all over the world, just so he can know where they are at, right?
Because why wouldn't a Batman not have a chip in all of the people on his team?
Right? 100%.
Very Batman-like.
But anyway, so this guy takes him, and he's telling him, he's like, Clown Hunter is all pissed at him, like, he's like, you have to listen to me. Last time, I used to be Ghostmaker's sidekick, and let me tell you this story, and if you don't like the story, pretty much, I'll let you leave and whatnot. So this guy, he's telling him, let me see if I can get his name.
Now, Mark,
Jesus.
while while you find this name, sorry, this is spinning off of one of those annuals, right? Because I read the annual when they went to the snow and they went and picked up and they fought the wolf, the guy who's kind of like a wolf, but he turned up not being a bad guy. He was a good guy, and then he joined the team. Is that guy still on the team? The guy who was like part wolf, or he was like in a wolf costume, is a huge dude. Remember that?
Yeah, but he's actually, was he on the team or was he?
They picked him up, and I think they flew away on like the ship, like something like he was like, oh, so but I don't know what they did. They said to be continued in Batman Incorporated #1, and it was during summer 2022 where I was getting hella books in previews. I was sending you guys the freaking list of my books, so and that was one of the ones where I had to cut. So. Kind of pissed that I did now.
He is definitely in it. I think he was in this issue. But he has been showing up. He's still been showing up. I don't know if it was this issue or the other one. But anyway, this dude, so he comes in, he basically doesn't kidnap him, but kind of, I guess, kidnaps Clown Hunter, tells him a story. The story's cool because now the book goes like the kid's telling Clown Hunter the story, and it's about his parents. His parents were kind of like, they had money, but they used to go around and mess with people with money because they thought people that had too good of lives needed to feel how it was like to maybe get robbed a little bit or something. So they did stuff. They did stuff that wasn't that great. But anyway, so Ghostmaker comes and kills them, basically. And then he takes over their son because they were pretty badass. So this son, he raises them, trains them, everything, right? But this kid was never good enough for him, right? So he basically thought that he was going to leave him left for dead in like some rubble when they were like got into some squabble with some bad guy, right? He's left in the rubble, whatever, right? So then this kid comes, tells him the whole story, dude, and it's like the book ends basically with him getting on a plane. He's like, you can come with me and we can go get Ghostmaker ourselves, or you can stay. So that's how it ends. So now it's like Clown Hunter's got to make a decision. Is he going to go fight Ghostmaker and like spill the beans on everything that's happening? Because Ghostmaker's already coming to look for him because of that air tag, because obviously now he's out of the damn security truck. But dude, it was a great issue, and I just really like it, man. I really like how these two main characters that were in those arcs for a while that we were reading kind of like have their own story going now. And Ed Brisson's the writer; he's doing a great job, and it's a really good book, man. I'm enjoying it. I really am. Sorry that was kind of long-winded, but good, I didn't really have any other books, but it was great.
No, you're just an asshole because now I'm going to have to go pick up the trade paperback when it comes out. So thanks a lot for that. But no, ladies and gentlemen, that's the comic book section of the podcast. So I hope that intrigue, we kind of have to kind of reintroduce ourselves, I believe. I think in the first episode of the year, right, if people are looking for new podcasts, they kind of say, hey, what's new, whatever. We've been here since April of 2019, and we hope that our reviews and our previews of some of these stories kind of intrigue you to go to not only get these books, but go to your local bookstore and support small businesses, because at this time in this world, if you got the extra funds, go support those small local businesses, because odds are they're hurting just as much as we are, if not more, right? So thanks, guys, for giving all those reviews of the books. Let's get into a little bit of news. Let's see, some quick hitters. The Avatar 2, I think it's The Way of the Water or whatever, reaches $1 billion in just 14 days. Sean, would you like to give a spoiler-free review of the movie?
Yeah, it was good. The only complaint I'll have is certain parts of the movie they dragged on a little bit.
Long.
But the thing is, though, the part that they dragged on, it was like 3 hours and like 13 minutes, I think.
3:13, that's still hella long.
Yeah, it was really long. But the parts that they dragged on were actually good, important parts. They just dragged it on a little bit. Like, you guys didn't need to put certain things or like extra dialogue. Like, you kind of didn't need all that dialogue. But the story was cool. Loved the theme. And I think the next one's going to be even better. I liked it. I had no complaints like for the actual movie.
Right.
It was good.
The best thing about this thing, I haven't seen it. Probably going to have to wait until it comes out in Disney+.
You'll be waiting probably, yeah.
Right. Oh, what I didn't write down is officially they said that it was like the 20-something. No more. February 1st is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever on Disney Plus.
It's not January 20th.
Not anymore. That was like a rumor.
I just seen that yesterday. It was January 20th. Are you sure?
February 1st. Like Disney actually put out the official,
Wow.
like this is the release date, like February 1st or 2nd or whatever. Right. So it's like, so it's like 10 days or 2 weeks after what it was supposed to be.
I had just told Marissa yesterday.
I don't know if that was a fan.
January 20th.
Right. I don't know if it was a fan thing or someone at Disney was like, oh yeah, it's going to be this date. But like, no, it's not. It's this date. So it's not even later this month. It's like February 1st of this year is, but no, the thing I like about of this one is I don't think we're going to have to wait too long for number 3, like we had to wait between 1 and 2. So
yeah, that'd be good at least.
The final season of The Flash, we will see the return of Mr. Spartan, a.k.a. John Diggle. We're going to see him as a reoccurring character.
Diggle.
Kid Flash.
He's good.
Kid Flash is going to be
cool.
He's going to be a recurring character. You know, it's the last season of The Flash, so you figure we're going to have a lot of
bring all
these
these characters back.
And Mr. From our era, folks, from our era, reading this book from the Comic Bookies podcast, from Josh Williamson. Bloodwork is back as a villain in this season of the final season of The Flash. Mark, me and you were discussing it, but I'll let you tell the story about a certain U.S. congressman, former mayor of Long Beach.
Oh man, you have the story. No, actually, I was
ahead.
reading it. Yeah. So this. Actually, do you have a better story than me? I'd have to pull it up.
No,
again
yeah, I just read a U.S. congressman was voted in. He's about to get sworn in.
For California.
Yes, for California. He's a former mayor of Long Beach, Robert Garcia. He will be sworn in with 3 very personal items to him. One, most importantly, is a picture of his parents, who he lost both of them to COVID, unfortunately. Number 2, his citizenship certificate. And number 3, a copy of Superman #1. Jeez. I was like, what the hell? I was like, even politics can, even comics can bleed into politics, pretty cool.
Is that a first print or what?
He was just saying it was from the Library of Congress or something like that, like the biggest archives of comic books. He kept tagging like the, Mark, if you have the story up, it's like he kept adding the.
Yeah. It's Library of Congress. It's a certified original #1 Superman.
Right. So they don't know.
10 cents originally,
right.
64 pages of action, all in full color.
Yes. So they don't know what the grade is of the issue that he is selling. I mean, that he's going to have with him. But the most recent copy of an 8.0 version of that comic book sold for over $5 million.
Well, you better have a bulletproof vest when you get sworn in.
Jesus.
Wow.
Christ. That's crazy.
He's just
10 cents for $5 million. Good trade.
Man, I'll tell you what. That I don't know what he's doing I don't know what he's got to do with that Library of Congress, man. They're hooking him up for sure.
That seems like an episode of or not well, technically because now the show's now out, but an episode of National Treasure. What they want to steal? What they want to steal that bitch?
So Library of Congress, and what is this? Like this is Congress has $1 million.
Oh, dude!
They're like the government is holding $1 million pristine comic books. It seems
Mark,
not
have
pristine,
you not seen
but
the original National Treasure?
They have a whole bunch of good stuff. Nicolas Cage,
dude,
come on now.
They steal so many things that they go to the Library of Congress. Right, Sean? Don't they press the button and the thing pops down and the book falls down and they steal? Oh, Marcus.
Yeah,
that's a classic
comics,
right there. That's a classic go.
Yeah. So screw your local, half price books. Go to your local Library of Congress.
Library of Congress.
So that's pretty cool.
Don't give anybody any ideas,
right, and
man.
then so we're not going to cue the music just yet because this person isn't dead, but Jeremy Renner.
He's in tough
Jesus
space, man.
Christ.
Jesus, I don't think he's gonna die. Why are you gonna say we don't have to cue the music yet?
Well,
I don't think
we
we're
have
gonna have
deaths.
to cue the music at all for
Because
the
we
guy.
have
We
deaths.
have other deaths.
I know. Oh. Okay,
We have
yes,
one
yes,
death.
yes. You mean in this episode? I thought you meant for him.
Right, but holy crap, dude! It's
No,
a
I
Hawkeye.
think
So
How does it happen in the first place is the biggest thing, man. I mean, obviously it's a freak
he's
accident.
just having fun. It's like, it's like me and you going out to Vegas to visit Forrest. We go out shooting and something just happens, right? Like some crazy, oh shit, you're just, you know what I'm saying?
It's oh shit. It's oh shit.
But it was a plow thing. It was like, it wasn't even like.
I need to pull up and see this. I need to I need
now,
a freaking visual.
Now, not to go into the future of this show, but we're going to talk about Ken Block. That was a snowmobile.
Cue it up. Cue it up.
Not yet, but that was a snowmobile, right?
Okay.
That was a snowmobile, yes.
But this was like a plow, like as if he was just trying to.
A plow,
right?
A snow plow. So it's snow plow the machine, basically shovel the snow type of thing. But I'm just trying to figure out was it like one that you're on top of? Because most of the ones I know are the ones you're pushing. So
is this like an industrial size, just huge? Because I mean, unfortunately for the people who are listening or watching this right now, I didn't read too much into the story, so I apologize.
I've seen so many different stories on it, but no exact details other than just chest.
Today
trauma, the legs, surgeries.
Today he did say that he posted a picture of like the accident / surgery.
I seen a picture of him. And actually, his tweet, they showed his face bruised up on this side all the way down, and it's kind of just a vague two sort of tweet. But I love my fans type of thing. But
right,
I think he's had 2 or 3 surgeries already, and they said just significant blood loss. 51 years old, especially something that traumatic.
Damn.
Who knows when he'll be acting again, man? That's crazy.
Probably won't be.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So it's that bad,
bro. They said it was dude.
Yeah, they had a neighbor or someone had to put a tourniquet on his leg, he was about to lose his leg. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he was operating the plow. Sorry, excuse my ignorance, like you as well, Mike. I didn't really read much into it.
You don't know the story yet, bro. That's the thing.
I thought it was like a snow day trip type of accident, like the guy that you mentioned earlier.
He has a house out
or
there.
a Sonny Bono type.
Right.
I didn't know he was operating a plow. I have to read more into this.
Yeah,
actually.
he's plowing I think he was a quarter mile from his property out there, which he goes to every year. And
yeah, so it was a winter thing. It must have been. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to assume. So yeah, but
get better, man. Get better fast.
Right. So to end the entertainment, to end the comics, we can go ahead and cue the music up now, because historic journalist from the 20th century, into the 21st century, Miss Barbara Walters, dead at 93.
Yes.
I mean, old age, but
90 plus.
Mark and Sean, how many of those big interviews did we see from our childhood?
Barbara Walters.
This is Barbara Walters.
This is 2020.
Right. How many interviews?
She's a pioneer, bro. She's a pioneer for all women to be on that platform. It's literally when you see
she came in like your sweet old grandma, baking a freaking apple pie, sitting on the windowsill. But she went hard in those questions, bro.
Straight news anchor, bro, and in a man's world at that time.
Right.
Am I mistaken? Wasn't she the one that came on after TGIF or whatever on Fridays, or did they come on Saturdays at 2020? That's where I remember her the most, honestly.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right.
It was like a 60 Minutes type show, the 2020.
I think so. I'm not too sure, but I mean, just what I remember of Barbara Walters is my parents watching key interviews with political figures, with celebrities who were in the limelight for positive or negative reasons. And
she had that voice, man.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So long to her. That kind of ends the comic books and the entertainment side, but it doesn't end the music, because we're going to start the sports part of this podcast by saying goodbye to Ken Block, dead at the age of 55. He was a snowmobile accident, and Mark, you have the most knowledge about this man.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and give kind of your,
Just Ken Block, 55 years old, and this guy, he did pass away from a snowmobile accident. I mean, he just an adrenaline junkie, right?
Right.
He's just one of those Pastrana guys. You obviously saw. He's the guy that has all these crazy cars with this all-wheel drive and these rally cars, and he built that old school Ford Mustang, and he's got that special e-brake right next to him, and he just drifts. He has those famous Gymkhana videos where he's just doing all these stunts and things that you've really never even seen before by driver. Just the car control that guy has, and just It's pretty amazing, dude. Obviously, a co-founder of DC Shoes, 55 years old. I
Yeah.
did not realize he was that old, actually. I thought he was probably like in his late 40s, maybe
Mm-hmm.
mid 40s, because, the guy just still out there ripping it. And, you live by the gun, you die by the gun, you live by the adrenaline. You could possibly be,
Try about it.
die by it. But, I'm not going to speculate what he was doing, but, if he was doing some type of crazy stuff on a snowmobile, which is the type of dude that I don't think he'd be going light on one, but with kids and everything, maybe he, hopefully he was trying to be smarter. I don't know the whole ins and outs of
Right.
exactly how it happened. But Ken Block, man, just a famous motorsports guy, just really tied in with Ford. You guys know I'm really tied in and tuned in with Ford as well. And just Ford has been sponsoring him, and he's been helping him design stuff,
Right.
and he's just been a real big part of their company. And the poor guy perished 2 days ago, I believe.
Right.
So
And then
Ken Block.
I think hours, well, it said hours, but I'm not sure how. I want to say a day before he passed, he tweeted like the final YouTube video with him and his daughter. Like they took took apart this Audi, right, and they put it back together or
Terrible,
whatever.
man.
It was like a whole big project, right? It was like a 3 or 4 video project with his daughter. That's just sad, man, because she's like a teenager, right, or early 20s.
19, I
Yeah,
think.
just freaking sad.
Too much
man.
life to still live, man.
Yeah. So, rest in peace, Barbara Walters. Rest in peace, Mr. Ken Block.
And rest in peace. The music has to keep going. I mean, not a lot of people might remember, but one of the members of 3 6
Oh, yeah.
Mafia, you
6
guys remember
Mafia.
that band back in the
Yep,
day?
yep.
Gangsta Boo, 43
Gangsta Boo.
dies.
Yep.
There's ongoing investigation, but I think she died like on her
Her
doorstep
mom,
or found that.
or her mom's or grandma's doorstep. Yeah.
Yes,
Crazy.
weird. Looks like it could be something bad, but
Right.
I don't know, man. If you guys are kind
Kind
of
of
our
threes,
age,
man.
and you guys rolled with 3 6 Mafia and kind of grew up on
3-6
them, it's just
Mafia.
Just a little slob,
Yeah,
just
they
a little
obvious-
slob in my knob, just something like that.
yeah, corn on the
You know.
cob.
Yeah. So that's kind of stinks. So,
So a lot of RIPs.
right, I know, right? So I
man.
wanted to cut the music, right? I wanted to cut the music and lead into another music because we haven't done this in a while. But your boy's got to go to the bathroom. Live on this episode
it
right
is.
now. So we will be back
it
with
is.
episode 172 of the Comic Bookies podcast in just a
We're gonna
GIF.
clock you, Mike.
We're gonna clock me.
you right now.
Don't clock me right now. Don't clock me.
Yeah, I'm
But
using it
before
too.
we go ahead and let's give a shout out to Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Our generous sponsor. Alex is open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Find us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search Comic Bookies. And also email us, thecomicbookies@gmail.com, whenever you want. But yeah, thanks so much for the support so far. We will be back.
BRB.
Stay tuned.
What up, Gangsta Boo?
And with the power of editing, everyone watching right now will never hear this for the podcast.
Very nice, very nice.
Wait for Mark. We'll go back live.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Oh, here Casey saying, "Dad, Dad."
Oh no, I hate that.
He KO'd.
It's so weird because
Gone.
I don't know if anybody listening right now had to go through the same thing, but to try to get your kids back to a school sleep schedule is hell on earth. To try to get Maddie, instead of going to bed at 9 every night, 7:30, pulling teeth.
What's like the hardest part? Is it the fact that obviously the time change, hour and a half difference? Is she just not tired and she's like rejecting
she's just like,
it?
I'm hungry. Like, I want this. Just all the stall tactics. I'm like, bro, you have school tomorrow. Like, we're not waking up at like, because some of those days where I'm not working and she doesn't have school during this break, bro, we were waking up at like 9:30, almost 10. Like it was that. Like, hell yeah. Like, none of us were going to sleep. Like, kids were going to sleep at like 9:30. So, like, of course, they...
What time did you wake up on the day after New Year's?
Day after New Year's? Monday? 8? Wasn't too bad. Like, 8. Oh, that's good. Right.
That's really good. Nice.
But, like right when I put Cam down today. Like, we all woke up at a decent time because Maddie went back to school, right? And, like, Cam's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not going to nap at 2. I'm going to nap at noon. What is this? What is this, right?
Yeah.
And, like, putting him to bed at 7:30, like, literally, right before I jumped on the computer right here, he was, dada, dada, mama, in his crib. I'm like, oh, hell, please just go to sleep, right? So, yeah, that was the first experience of me having to try to transition back to school schedule.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
All right, guys, let's get back to it. 3, 2, and let's get back to 172 of the Comic Bookies podcast, back from our pee-pee break. Sean, Mark, Ken Block, Dead at 55. That starts the sports section of the podcast. So sorry to hear about that and all the previous people that we've talked about. Going into, the news just doesn't get any better. Continuing the podcast, continuing the news stories. NFL Week 17. I thought the number one thing that we were going to talk about was in my opinion, top 10 game of the year between the San Francisco 49ers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, I'm pissed that we lost, right? It's like one of those things where it's like a silver lining to a year that's been very up and down for the Raiders. All those, it's like the 5th time now this year that we've had a double-digit lead in the second half and we've blown it and lost, right? But, like, obviously, like, we played so much better than was expected against arguably the best team in the league, especially the best defense, right? Like, all those stats are just thrown out the window, right? No one had scored points on the Niners in the first 2 drives of the game. Only one quarterback had thrown 3 touchdowns against the 49ers this year before Stidham, and that was Patrick Mahomes. Like, all those ones, right? So I thought we were going to talk about that. But last night, we have never seen that before on a football field. We saw, Mark, you mentioned his last name, the guy who, the Shazier. Like, we witnessed that 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? He ended up being okay, walking and everything again, but
never played again.
If you're watching right now, you see the background of Mark's, his screen, Damar Hamlin. Holy shit. Hoping that the kid pulls through. Everyone who's listening to this podcast, everyone who's watching this podcast definitely saw that play last night. I saw people on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, who I don't even think had ever watched an NFL game in the last 5 years, say, like, prayers for Damar Hamlin, like, oh my God, hopefully he pulls through. Like, this was not just a sports thing last night. This was a human, a guy almost freaking died on the field. And then, it's now Tuesday. It's 24 hours since this has happened, and it was confirmed he had a cardiac arrest on the field. emergency CPR.
He's still fighting for his life,
They
too.
used a defibrillator on him on the field. Like, it was so crazy. Because at the same time, you texted us, Sean, like this is sad stuff. What the hell? I don't know. Oh, sad stuff. I thought, you know what? I thought sad stuff. I thought you were either you were referring to my previous text that I was sending, or you were saying something about maybe Joe Burrow wasn't doing good enough for you for fantasy, for your championship, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But at the same time, I knew something was wrong because my brother texted me and Mark saying that, hey, did you guys see the guy who collapsed on the field? It's like, shit. So I turned to the TV. Of course, I got the DVR on, so I rewind it, and then I bring Danielle in, and that was hella scary. That reminded me of something like that. Always reminds me of that old soccer game, that Angel of Death, where the guy does the flip and does like the Bernie lean kind of thing before he just dies. Hella scary.
Yeah. So
obviously the impact of T. Higgins going into him as he rolls and makes the tackle, I'm guessing, we don't have confirmed, but I'm guessing that it's 2 words, CNC.
Commotio cordis or
cordis
something
or whatever.
That.
Like an instant heart attack. 24 years old, like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude. You know what? We were talking about it earlier in the day. I was looking forward to one of the games of the year. Right. Fantasy football championship. Joe Burrow had that opening drive, and I'm just cooking. I'm like, dude, this is going good. I've seen some soccer games. The Euro Cup that Christian Eriksen suffered his cardiac arrest.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that.
I've
seen that, and it's like, wow, like that happened in a sports game. But what happened yesterday was just a crossing route from T. Higgins, who just took that step, drove upfield, and Damar Hamlin actually made just a tackle. He did what he was supposed to do,
like taking a shot to the chest. He absorbed it and kind of just kind of fell, right? He kind of twirled his body and he fell.
Picked himself up, established himself, and it went down like a tree. And it was like the scariest thing I ever seen, because I've seen when people, you've seen that in some ways, like, the soccer game, but the way he fell, you never seen that,
right?
Especially in an NFL game,
right? And I'm not trying to make a joke about this, because this is very, very serious. At my age now, I'm 11 years older than Damar Hamlin, and there are times where right now I am not in the best of shape as compared to what I usually am. There are some times where I'm playing with the kids, and I'm done playing with my kids, and I have chest pains.
Yeah.
And it scares the ever-living piss out of me to have those type of chest pains. I was like I'm scared. Like, I don't know if he had kids. I don't know if he had kids or a wife or whatever.
Tight chest
but like, was that just cramps from, like, how your lungs start to burn,
tight chest,
whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
anything chest related at our age, bro, we already know what we're thinking. It's the one thing you don't want it to be, bro. And this guy, a prime athlete, 24 years old. I mean, he actually hasn't even technically reached his peak, which is 25 to 27. So you're just thinking, like, this kid, again, he absorbed a hit. And I was actually talking to a couple of the guys, and one of the wives, her doctor friend, actually brought that up before it was actually even ever announced on Twitter. I think he suffered from commotio, whatever
cordis
the
whatever,
term was. And then, sure enough, that's what you're thinking it is. But when Mike said he's still fighting for his life here, he might be breathing on his own, but I think they said that his heart completely stopped. They actually had to resuscitate him like twice on the field. Like, again, these are just things that people are tweeting and stuff, but it's like, who knows what the significance of what the damage is going to be when he actually wakes up.
Most guys who tear their ACL or get like that neck injury, but they get carted off or whatever, and they give the thumbs up or whatever, usually the players are like, patting them on the back, like, hey, it's all good, man, like, blah, blah, blah. But that many guys crying on the field,
man.
Bro, he freaking died on that field for a second.
He did.
Oh, scary,
bro.
man.
And it's just like,
Mark, what was your reaction when you first saw him?
I actually, to tell you the truth, I know you guys might have seen it, especially you, Mike, are one of the close friends of the show, Seth Everett. He actually came out with the podcast a couple hours ago from our recording us this on Tuesday night, January 3rd, 2023.
Oh.
And his podcast was about this same incident. He was able to kind of put something together kind of quick. He said he was going to actually do a podcast on the NFL and the YouTube deal, but he said with this happening that he couldn't do it. So he got this guy, David Moulton, which is a broadcaster for the Florida Sports Network, and he's like a spotter slash statistician for Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football. And he was just kind of giving like his, perspective on it and whatnot, kind of saying how, the NFL with the Tua situation earlier in the year and this, it's kind of like one of the grimmest years for NFL, right? And a lot of sports, really. It's just,
That's true. Holy shit. I didn't even think about that. Like compiled on with the whole like Tua getting three times
this year that they know of.
Yeah, and it's just, so my perspective, he's, from what I saw, and this guy, David Moulton, he said that they were like giving him CPR for like eight minutes, I think.
Yeah. It was at least 8 minutes.
Totally, you heard it a lot. The broadcasting, they did a real good job of not relaying information that they didn't know, that they weren't aware of, not giving false information to, millions of viewers watching Monday Night Football. But it's just like, from my perspective too, it's just kind of like how you guys said, I saw the text coming in from you guys and I was just like, oh man, seems kind of bad, and it's just, I didn't realize how bad it was until I turned on the TV probably when it would have been maybe the second quarter or halftime, I think. And I was like, wait, they're not even playing the game? And it's just Scott Van Pelt talking and Aikman. And I was like, holy crap, this is serious.
Right.
And just to completely stop a game. I think it was obviously the right decision by both players and coaches and everybody involved. Cannot play with a guy that cannot breathe, a brother that cannot breathe. You cannot play. And just, Mike, you got something to say?
And then they also said today or yesterday night that they said that the players, that it wasn't Goodell. It wasn't the NFL commissioner's office that postponed the game. It was the players contacting the NFLPA, said that we're not playing tonight.
We're not playing. That was the best thing. You know what?
It was the best thing. It was the best thing for them, but it was the worst thing for the NFL and for Roger Goodell.
The NFL. If the players said let's play, please play, because at the end of the day, that's what the NFL does.
Oh yeah, of course.
And that's what the NFL does.
How much more ad revenue? How much more?
The best thing
Vegas,
was the
gambling.
the product to finally stand up and just say, honestly, fuck you. Sorry for my language, but straight up, because the thing is, like, we aren't cattle. And what happened yesterday, bro, it can't happen. Tua, that can't happen, bro. Like, it's true. That's just our entertainment, bro. But it's just like, dude, these guys are like...
How many more Andrew Lucks are we going to have this offseason?
It's
what I want to know. How many guys? How many?
Young,
Borland.
How many more guys are just being like, you know what?
Who?
The guy from the 49ers who retired after
1 year, and the guy was a stud. I mean,
he was.
Oh, Glenn Coffey.
Pastor Coffey. But the reality is, man, all these guys, bro, they're retiring for whatever the reason is.
Just through their rookie contract, they're about to sign something big, or they did, and then they're like, dude, fuck this.
Dude, what hurts, bro, is it wasn't a bad play either.
No.
I think that's what was hitting me, actually, like the first couple minutes.
But
like,
that's what scares NFL players.
That's what scared me, bro. Honestly, everything went right on that play. T. Higgins fought for a couple extra yards. Hamlin brought him down. It's like, damn, that was a good play on both sides.
Right.
And like something terrible happened on the right play.
Dude, and then who was it? Number 20, their backup running back, was just like pointing at him like, oh my God, like frantically on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes it's even hard to talk about, to be honest, bro. It's just like...
Yeah, and then, man.
We're just fans, bro, and it's just like we've watched football our whole lives, and it's like sometimes you feel almost like you're a part of this freaking fraternity,
right?
It's a freak accident.
Oh, 100%. But like that was the cherry on top. Like the guy died on the field, basically. Like no one's ever seen that. No one's ever seen that.
No one
can. Football field.
No one can convince me otherwise that he didn't die on the field for at least a few seconds when they have to do emergency CPR and they have to bring out an AED and use it on him on the field. Guys are hard around praying, crying, like, dude Dude was
He's
on
at 50%
death's
oxygen
doorstep
right now. I think 50% oxygen right now. So I know the last I seen, I think it was like his mark. I think who was it? Matthew Berry posted it.
right.
That the guy who works directly with DeMar said, I think he's on like 50% oxygen, which is better because they were actually literally giving him 100% of the oxygen he was taking.
Okay.
But he's still, fully asleep. And just again, how's it going to be when he wakes up, bro?
Right.
I mean, I've talked to some family nurses that we have, and it's like the brain damage. You don't know, man.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, the brain not getting air for so many minutes and whatnot. Just
it kind of makes you think about the that Will Smith movie, Concussion.
I thought about that. I thought about that within minutes.
Kind of makes you think about all the stuff that they talk about and how Larry Fitzgerald's fighting for, or Larry Fitzgerald or Anquan Bolden or whoever's fighting for, healthcare after we retire and just the help that we need. And, this piece of shit league that we just fawn over and like, freaking gobble their nutsack that claims to be a nonprofit organization, so they don't pay any taxes. They charge the goddamn military to put ads on their football games.
Breast cancer. They charge
them to put the fucking ads on there.
Jeez.
And then
do they?
Yes.
Bro,
they
it's a
charge
cold
them to do
company,
that.
Bro, it's bad, bro. It's bad if you hear this shit. That it's real bad. Damon Bruce uses the analogy, and it's true.
Kind of pisses me off. Like it.
What's the analogy?
Like if you were, I'm insane. I'm insane because I'm gonna watch Week 18.
Oh yeah,
I'm freaking insane. I'm stupid, fucking stupid because I should not. I should not. Right. Because I've been watching this shit since 1998.
You got to talk about it for Comic Bookies 173.
I think at the end of the day,
fuck
bro.
That. No, I don't have to. I can talk about anything else. I can talk about college football playoffs. I can talk about the EPL is back. We can talk about the NBA and the NHL every week. We don't have to talk about the NFL every week.
Just sucks at the end of the day.
If we want to be those social justice warriors, right?
Can never be against like our teams. Like that's like the thin line. It's just like it sucks, man. It sucks because it's like I love my Niners. You love your Raiders. I love those teams, but it's like
Sean. What would happen if you were a part of the Barstool Sports Network and you were on this podcast saying like I couldn't do this? You know how you would get crucified? It's so crazy how when you really think about it, if this podcast was big time and we were talking about this and that, and then we go into this whole thing like, oh hey, all right, so week 17, hey, what'd you guys like about the Sunday? Raiders Niners. Let's talk about week 18. Let's look at these odds for Super Bowl winners. Oh my God. We'd get freaking crucified in the comments.
If you have to go over and if you have to go on their script,
holy shit,
then there's a problem. Yeah, that's just true, bro. I mean, thank God we're on our platform because then we can actually have a heart. We can have some feelings. We can have some just.
But what I'm saying is that people will tell us, and maybe even big corporations like who we would work for would tell us that, you know what, this week, we're not talking about sports. We're praying for DeMar Hamlin, and episode 172 is done.
We're definitely not saying F the NFL, I guess, if we're working for Barstool Sports.
Well, that's true because we're still exactly. But you get what I'm saying. If we're working for some big entity, right?
Oh, no doubt, bro. It sucks. Reality. I mean, that's the moneymaker. It's the NFL. That's the thing, dude. NFL. That's what it is, bro. Like we love the sport. We love when we see the players we support compete in the sport they just happen to be great at.
There's too much into it. There's too much attached to it, Mark and Sean.
And
there's too much. There's gambling. There's fantasy football. There's too much. We can't get away from it. We can't. We can't be. Yeah. For us three, like podcasts aside, we can't be all high and mighty about this because there's too much attached to it. Thank God that this is my last year in fantasy football where I can just kind of stay but oh man, I've been in it for 30 years. I can't not watch the Raiders next year because of what happened on yesterday. I can't not watch my Raiders next year.
Though, bro, do you think DeMar? Because even DeMar, if you talk to DeMar, like, and God forbid, hopefully he recovers 100% and he can live a freaking normal life. But let's just say you talk to him and are you gonna play football again? Maybe he doesn't play football again, but do you think he's gonna stop watching football? No. He's probably not going to stop watching football because nothing Nothing wrong happened on that play. Just the freak accident happened.
Right.
And that's what sucks. That's the worst thing that sucks. But then it's just this fucking corporation that handles it the way that they handle it. What are we going to do? When are we going to reschedule this game? It's like, that's what we're worried about here?
Yeah.
Dude, you knew that everyone knows damn well that's why it took so long.
Right.
The whole postponement. You're trying to figure out, how are we going to freaking figure this out? Or maybe we can still play the game tonight. It's like, bro, this is a human being, dude.
Like Mark, you said, like, oh, here comes football coming to America. No way. No way. The only way that soccer would be more important to America than the NFL is if the NFL went bankrupt. And the NFL didn't play this freaking season.
Nothing will ever be bigger than NFL.
Nothing will ever be bigger than the NFL.
Ever.
Nothing.
Ever. It's not an argument. It's not an argument. It'll never be bigger than NFL. Nothing.
And sometimes I hope against it. Sometimes I wish that a Sharks-Stars game would get as many viewers as a Cowboys-Eagles game. Sometimes I wish that a Warriors-Lakers game would get as many viewers as Packers-Vikings this weekend, or whoever, Packers and Lions this weekend. It's not going to happen.
Sunday night.
Not going to happen.
Playing
they can flex for a reason because they know that they're going to get tens of millions of viewers and hundreds of millions of dollars to show this. And at the end of the day, they don't give two rat shits about these players.
I guess you guys have been ragging on the NFL for a bit here, but I don't know how much in depth they go into providing, the medical team at these stadiums and whatnot, because that's one. If the NFL is, or if I don't know if that's more Paycor Stadium there in Cincinnati that puts their medical team, and that's something that they kind of put together, or if the NFL really has a hand in that. The NFL has a hand in that, and I can say praise them a little bit for that. If they don't, I don't care who I have to praise. I just have to praise the people that were there, people that helped, the first responders getting to the hospital.
It was Bengals and people from Buffalo and people from the Bengals as well helping out. Amazing.
Yeah, so I think those people need to get applauded.
Right.
Those are the heroes. Those are superheroes of that night, because if they wouldn't have reacted, and that's another guy that this guy David Moulton from that podcast Everett was talking about. He said that he was noticing, because I think he said that there was certain parts that they weren't showing on camera, but he said like these people were like resuscitating and giving him CPR so hard that they had to like keep on switching each other off because they were getting tired as hell.
They didn't show any of that.
They either were on commercial, or they were, the camera view like way back there, or they had trainers, water guys. They were like kind of huddled around and like standing up and kind of facing outward, kind of like this.
The privacy thing is almost like the Christian Eriksen thing. Literally, the soccer players on the team surrounded him, because it's just, bro, you don't want that on live TV, bro. Like that's
yeah.
So
I don't know,
people sweating, giving CPR. I mean, it's crazy.
All right, man. So let's feed into it. Hopefully Damar Hamlin gets better, 100% back to health. Hopefully, he's gonna make a decision on whether he plays or not. But let's just at least hope that he can get back to 100% just normal health for himself and his family. But week 17, going into 18 of the NFL, Sean, man, good job to your 49ers. It was a hell of a game. Some turnovers back and forth.
We needed that, man. We needed that. Finally got a close game for Purdy, and you guys showed out too.
Jesus Christ, it was come on now. We've been saying it for the past 2-3 seasons. The best goddamn defensive linemen were on the same field that Sunday.
And they showed out, bro. I love it bro. When you can see it. I love when you can see it without seeing the stats. See the pressures.
Oh, of course.
I'll be honest. See that game-winning play from Bosa, pushing the
offensive lineman into him to then throw the pick. Amazing.
Bosa had 0 fantasy points, but it's true. He may have been, next to Max Crosby, the number 1 and 1A, 1B most effective defensive player on the damn field. And Crosby was making Purdy run like a damn chicken with his head cut off. And it was the game, bro. It was the game. I think I was happy the game ended that way. Like, obviously winning, but just in general, like what you just said, bro. I'm actually mad we lost because you're like, damn, that was a good game. That was a fun game.
Right. And
that went along with all the the 2 college semifinal games.
Right.
Those were entertaining,
You know what?
bro.
37-34. Would you have really expected? Hold on. Going into this game with the Niners defense, Jared Stidham starting 37-34 in overtime.
I expected you us to win 2-score game straight up. And I knew you guys would be able to sucker punch us because I know there's just no film on Stidham for us. Like, we're going to kick this guy's ass, probably a little underestimated. But you know what I heard, and I think it was the truest thing, like, this guy probably knows the system better than Carr. He's been with McDaniels for like 3 years already in New England.
Right.
This guy has the intangibles to be a damn good quarterback, and you see those play actions. They were strategically running away from Bosa. You have Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, who are top 3, top 5 at their position. The offensive line kept them clean. So it's just like, bro, with the exception of course, a couple of interceptions, you threw for over 300 yards on 9-9 defense. They stretched the field on us.
The pocket presence and the mobility was way better than Carr, and
say it again.
And it rivaled Mr. Purdy on the other side. I was like, dude, these two guys, oh man,
that was a perfect modern day quarterback.
I would take both of them for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years in both teams.
Bridge quarterback.
Do not waste the first round pick on a quarterback. Like, But that
go draft one in the 2nd or 3rd round, bro. Stidham can be your quarterback next year, maybe 2 years, bro. They're the perfect bridge quarterbacks. Right. I'm telling you, bro. These guys are hella young. Their intangibles are through the roof, bro.
Right. Because if you go and get a quarterback for the Raiders, I mean, this is going off topic here, but that doesn't stop you from giving up 40 points a game with the defense. So, anyways,
fun game for sure.
Definitely. It's a Niners definitely, I think. I mean, the Raiders don't have much of a home field advantage because they're not in Oakland anymore. There's not a huge, fan base in Vegas. Our boy Smiley was there at the game, but I don't. But
Niners travel though.
The Niners, besides maybe what? Pittsburgh and Dallas, they're probably the most traveled.
Niners, Dallas,
Green Bay,
Raiders, Green Bay,
the classic franchise. I think the classic franchises who were winning during the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're the ones who travel the most, bro.
They got more frequent flyer miles or what?
You know what, Mark? I don't even know if they had that program back then. I don't know if Southwest had a program with frequent flyer miles until the mid-90s. But anyways, but weeks.
They had the program that leave you at the airport stranded all holiday weekend. That's
but anyway, so let me throw out to you guys. BetMGM has Caesar Sportsbook has. I have the top 10 odds to win the Super Bowl, my friends. Yeah. Here we go. So top 2 is in the AFC. Top 2.
Of course it is.
Kansas City plus
Chiefs and Bengals or Chiefs and Bills.
Plus 375 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo Bills plus 400. You can get a very nice price. The number 1 team in the NFC, San Francisco 49ers at plus 500. Plus 500 to win the Super Bowl. Number. Philadelphia Eagles plus 550. Can you guys guess team number 5?
Team number 5, I should put Bengals.
Plus 800, Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys get into the plus 1,000. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the Tom Brady effect, just like the AR effect with Green Bay. Tampa Bay at plus 2,500. We have LA Chargers at plus 2,500, Minnesota at plus 2,800, and Green Bay at plus 3,500 to run out of the top 10 for odds.
They got to get in first. What about Detroit?
Steelers is at like a plus 6,000 or whatever because they're like the last team, like barely they have all this to get in.
Their odds, I think both of those teams, I saw that the stat, like both of their teams, like on week 8 or 9, their chances of like making the playoffs were like 0.1 and like 0.4 respectively or something like that. And now they're both got flexed into a Sunday night game for a chance to go to the playoffs, which is pretty remarkable.
Good for the Lions, man.
And their NFC North foes, Lions have been playing good, I see Sean lately, dude, and he's got that smile, man, that the one from ear to ear that will eat that banana sideways, man, because he's liking, I think Sean's kind of liking what he's seeing. I think he's kind of liking what he's seeing out of the Philadelphia Eagles lately, man. They're kind of not playing their best football at a time of the season when you should be playing your
Jalen
first
Hurts
football.
is a simple solution to that.
Right? I
It's
mean,
a simple solution to
Minshew.
that.
Minshew's manageable, right? But he hasn't been running that offense all season and whatnot. And I
Come
think,
on, bro.
but Jalen Hurts is
bro.
but Hurts is coming back, right?
He's gonna come back. Hey, bro, it's like the worst thing too, because the Giants already announced they can't get any higher or lower in the seeding. They're gonna freaking bench their starters like some freaking jackasses against the Giants, against the Eagles, which means the Niners
if they win, then they're the number 1 seed.
And Niners get the 2 seed. Clowns.
But is Jalen going to play?
The Giants, right? You play the Giants in the number 1 game?
No. If we get the 2 seed, we are going to play
the last seed.
Either Seahawks, Detroit, or Green Bay.
Oh, well, you hope it's Green Bay because you guys,
I know.
you guys win by an average of 30 points every freaking playoff game against those
even
guys.
without scoring an offensive point or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That game
was right.
was wild.
There's a lot of fun games, man. I mean, yeah, I know we talked about them. I think the one that I think
Chiefs and Raiders. I mean, the Raiders can spoil the Chiefs' number 1 seed hopefuls, right? So, I mean, the Raiders and Chiefs. The Raiders can spoil.
So, how do you feel about that, though? So there we go. Bengals still have a chance at the 2 seed, and I'm now. You know what? You have to think about this.
So
you have to think about
to this at this time at 11 p.m. on the 3rd. Have they not come up to an?
So they've already said what I seen earlier. They will not play this week. The only thing possible is possibly doing a compact week 19 first week of the playoffs if they have a bye week. But it's like
you don't.
At the end of the day, sorry, I'm not the asshole. God knows the guy. I'm not the asshole. But it's like I'm the owner or the freaking coach. I still got to think of the playoffs. And I'm not going to freaking put my team at risk of compacting games near the playoffs that do matter. That's the thing. Yeah. These do matter.
Right. Like I
actually
thought they were going to play today. For some reason, I thought that once he was like they
flew out last night,
somewhat
bro.
breathing, or he was like somewhat like he's definitely not going to die. I thought they were going to play today.
They would play.
But Buffalo even flew back to Buffalo, bro.
And
most
that's
players
the evidence.
flew out last night.
And that's the evidence. I was like, oh shit. Like they're not.
NFL hasn't canceled the game in 87 years.
It's tough because the thing
it's
is,
been
like
84 years. Titanic.
Seedings matter.
Shout
bro.
out Titanic.
I mean,
Shout out James Cameron.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I mean, yeah, more important stuff to see. You know, it's true. There's freaking the Jaguars chance to get into the playoffs versus Tennessee. That's going to be a fun. Dude, you love those games. Winning, you're in. It's me versus you, bro. One of us is getting in.
Did any of us pick the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the division?
Mark,
to win the division or to make the playoffs?
I think he may pick. I know Mark had him in the playoffs.
We were on Indy and Tennessee, right?
I really think Mark.
Maybe. No, I don't think I picked Jags then. I think I might have picked Tennessee.
I think you two were Indy. I was Tennessee.
You guys picked Indy, or
I took Tennessee.
Yeah, you may took Tennessee. I took Indy. It was one of us, and it was one vice versa. I know I liked Indy earlier this year, though.
What a fall from grace Tennessee's been. Holy shit.
Dude, it's like they knew, though. They fired their GM or whatever it was, and like they've lost every game since. It's like, bro, you were still first in the damn division, and you have not won a game since. They were like
9-2, 9-3 against the spread too, like and like the record match too. Like holy shit.
Then Tannehill had the ankle surgery, and I'm just kind of like, dude, like, is this like fixed? Like, I don't know, bro. Right. It's kind of weird stuff going on in Tennessee.
So
you guys mentioned those win and you're in games. It just brings to mind that instant classic last year and that Raiders and that Chargers game in Las Vegas.
Legendary.
Dude,
legendary.
Yeah. That was a good one too.
Yeah, so was the next week in Cincinnati where we were fucked by a whistle. Or a non-whistle.
There it is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was unbelievable.
Who won the Super Bowl that year? Oh yeah, that's right, Cincinnati. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
There it is.
We stay getting screwed.
Let's not.
So damn annoying.
Shut up, Sean.
Bro, it's actually like, laughable.
How?
Not you guys.
How
bad the NFL is because the NFL is so obvious. they're so obvious with them. It's like, dude, he just whistled and he scored a touchdown. Nah, it's okay this
Mark,
time.
can I ask you a question? What made who made you a Raider fan? It was just like a 510 loyalty thing, or like what
Me?
brought you into the pain and misery?
Yeah, me?
Yes, you.
It sure as hell wasn't my dad and my family like you. It was just when I was in high school, they were like balling, and I was like 20
Rich
minutes
like
down
Gannon.
from the
That's true,
stadium.
Rich like Gannon.
So I was just
Like, yeah, man.
got into them like I wasn't really into football. I mean, I was into football, but I mean, I don't know. I wasn't really into like
that was the
having
right
a
time, though,
die-hard
bro.
team
So you
like
had a
that until I
chance.
was older.
Hey, that team was hella hard though, bro. Shoot, and y'all had Rice and Tim Brown. I'm like,
Garner.
these oldies getting it.
Joey
Charlie
Porter.
Gardner, Tyrone Wheatley, John Ritchie, Jerry Porter. Though he was actually one of my favorite
Foley and
receivers.
Kaufman.
Well, that
We
was
don't get
that
started,
was
bro.
earlier.
Cough,
Before, I know.
Pastor Cough, bro.
Wait, who else?
Zach,
Didn't we have
Zach Crockett?
Romanowski?
Come on now.
Croc dog. You need
Yeah.
3 yards. Tell him, Mike. Tell him, Mark.
Yeah.
Or tell him, Mike. Tell him, Mike. How many yards you need for Zach
You
Crockett?
need 3 yards? I'll get you 3
2
yards. If you need 4 yards, I'll get you 3 yards.
I give 3 yards.
What did he say?
He said
Zach
that.
Crockett's a dog.
He said that.
Say it again.
He goes, if you need 3 yards, I'll get you 3 yards. You need 4 yards, I'll get you 3
I
yards.
get you 3 yards,
That's all it took, baby.
bro.
That's all
Best
it took.
line ever.
Oh, I'll never forget that. I'll be
Jerry
on my
Porter.
deathbed. I won't even remember my daughter's name. I'll be like, what did Zach Crockett say in 2001? If you need 3 yards, I'll get you 3 yards. You need 4 yards, I'll get you 3 yards. Hell yeah, motherfucker. Oh, man.
Oh shit.
All
that's
right,
hella
so
funny.
week 18, plenty to watch, plenty to get into, plenty to root for.
yes.
Sean, good luck whenever they play that game in your fantasy football championship. I need to pay my brother out $425 for his fantasy football championship. League of Mediocre Douchebags is done. I am done with fantasy football. Thank the Lord. Now,
Fitting is it that a Biella takes the final trophy?
and Biella took the first year, too. I took the first year. My
There
brother
it
takes the
is.
last
Yeah.
year. So congrats to my
Couldn't be
brother.
happier. If it ain't me, it's one of them.
It's been
Your brother,
it's been-
your brother held it
It's
down.
been an amazing. It's not a eulogy, but I'll go for it. It's been an amazing run since the early 2000s when Sean would come over to my uncle's house in Newark and like straight up draft like on paper. And then we would go and my uncle would import the players. Then on sandbox.com, he'd import all of the catches this much points, yards is this many, rushing yard, blah blah blah, all that.
Come a long way, Mike.
Yep, come a long way, and I can't wait to have just the Raiders losing be the only reason why my Sunday is ruined. Not fantasy, not gambling, not nothing. You know what? Maybe I gamble some. Maybe Mark can talk me into some gambling next year. Hopefully,
Man, if
hopefully by
California
that
would've passed those
time, California passes the. Oh, I'm screwed then.
Bovada,
right.
you do it from the confines of your own home.
That's very true. All right, so college football. Let's talk a little bit of the 2 games and then the 1 game going into. If we record next Monday, we will talk about a crowned national champion for college football.
Screw Ohio State's kicker. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, Sean, that was amazing.
Scaredy cat.
Sean,
Cat.
that was amazing. Me and you were watching that, and I was like, straight out of Simpsons.
How amazing!
He's seen
Did you
2
see-
300-pounders break through. Oh, shit.
God.
Did you,
Stoinked it.
did you guys see the side by side? Literally on the East Coast, as the clock hit 0, they missed the kick like simultaneously.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
seen
shit.
that was
Of
crazy.
the new year?
They
It's
like,
on Twitter, bro. It's crazy.
dude, as the clock hit 0 on the East Coast, freaking Georgia was running on the field. They had just won it. Literally
shit.
simultaneously. It was crazy.
Oh, dang. Did not know that.
It was crazy. Yeah, Mark's gonna be more right.
The Fiesta Bowl.
Like how do you know who to celebrate? You watch these East Coast SEC fans and Ohio State fans. You're like, what do you watch? The ball drop? Or you watch the kick? You got to watch the kick. It's football, right? It's football,
It's SEC football. You know what I'm saying?
right?
You know what I'm saying? Another year
Virginia.
saying bullshit with Sleepy Joe Biden there in office. So got to watch that kick. You know what I'm saying? But did not expect to see what I saw in the Fiesta Bowl with TCU and Michigan. I know you thought that TCU had a fighting chance, Mark, to either cover or to win the game, but man, like Michigan, did you even
defensive touchdowns they gave up?
Oh
or
man, right? You can't
didn't they have?
You can't handicap. Special teams touchdowms.
Bullshit.
Two pick
Speaking
sixes,
of that,
I
hold on
think,
real
right?
quick. Come on, Minnesota. What, like 2 pick sixes?
Let's not even talk about Minnesota. They're garbage.
And a kickoff touchdown. Oh my God!
Minnesota or Michigan?
Minnesota Vikings.
No, Minnesota Vikings.
Sorry.
Look at their freaking plus minus. Like,
just like you can't handicap that kind of shit. But anyways, Michigan. Did you ever feel after the first quarter and a half that Michigan even had a chance?
you never had your car.
No, you didn't even have your car. Almost had you.
But they did. They did kind of come back. They made it interesting.
Did, bro?
Very
Like,
interesting.
Like
TCU.
I never had a feeling that Michigan would stop TCU's offense. Like I texted you, Mark. I said, is that Big 12 defense going to strike back? No, it was just their offense that kept striking.
That's Sonny Dykes for you.
Right.
That's what Cal used to do with Jared Goff. That's what kept them in the games. If Cal would have had the same defense that they have these days with Justin Wilcox, that are actually a decent defense, not great by any means, but decent compared to what they had in the Jared Goff years. I mean, I'm not saying they would have went to a national championship, but they would have been a lot more decent team with that air raid with the better defense.
Right.
I mean,
as you hell it works, bro.
I mean, and as you can see now, I mean, the TCU doesn't have the best defense. If they don't, if Michigan doesn't give up those like 2 pick sixes or what have you, they win, right? So it's, I don't know, man. I don't see Georgia making the same mistakes. It's just.
And so going into Monday, you have from BetMGM, you have Georgia to minus 450 on the money line, and a TCU plus 350. I mean, I don't know what I didn't get the juice. I didn't get the money line, the odds for the spread. It's
13.
It's
13.5.
I take the points. Georgia's defense is not as good as we think. I'm telling you right now,
bro. Georgia's defense is. I think it's style. And first off, C.J. Stroud proved he might be the best college quarterback.
He was solid.
He was
really
don't tell me
good.
that, Sean.
Oh no. C.J. Stroud, I was talking to a couple people. Because you know what? He's better. To me, he's better than Bryce Young for NFL, to transfer to the NFL. Who'd rather have Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud in the NFL? C.J. Stroud at least tries to pass first. Bryce Young's going to run and get his head knocked off. He ain't going to do nothing with
honestly, I want the Raiders to get Tom Brady in 2002.
For 1 year, you want Tom Brady?
No. I want Tom Brady in 2002, and then for him to play the rest of his career.
Okay.
I want Peyton Manning in 1999, 2000.
I want something like
C.J.
Stroud did, bro.
I don't want to keep starting. Never mind. I need a therapist for this shit.
Our buddy, our Houston Astros buddy, the one who won all that money. What's his name?
Mattress Matt?
Yeah, he put 1.5 on TCU.
Money line or spread?
Did he?
I think spread.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
not bad. That's not a bad bet. I mean,
when $500,000 hanging around.
It's better than money line.
50, you could even pizza money and sprinkle some on the money line.
It's very true.
They can score, dude. They've been doubted all year. That's why I've been liking them. They won wire to wire against Michigan, Texas, and Oklahoma team, which ain't saying much that this year with Brett Venables taking over at head coach there, coming over from Clemson's defensive coordinator position. But I digress, right? I say, I don't know, man. The points do look enticing, but then again, are they baiting me? It's high for a reason. It's not 14, so it's less than 2 touchdowns. Let's buy it down to 13. It could be an 8-9 point game, man.
So who do you think's the better team between Ohio State and TCU if they played each other?
If they played,
actually curious.
If they played 10 times, I'd say 7 or 8 out of 10 times Ohio State wins.
The crazy thing is, though, I actually think if Ohio State would have been able to pull off that win against Georgia, I think this national championship game would have probably been a little bit better, because I do 100%. Think Georgia is better than Ohio State, and I think It's just, those SEC teams against a Big 12 team. It's just, I've seen this story before. I've seen these Pac-12 teams go and play these SEC teams. And it's not in SEC country this year. It is in SoFi Stadium down there in Los Angeles come Monday night.
They just play different, bro.
Hopefully they have the stadium. Is the stadium always open like that?
Yes.
So it'll be raining.
The sides.
So it's raining.
It's not open.
Right? Isn't like where they have
in Dallas
it's
Stadium?
got that
No, SoFi in LA.
Dorito chip looking
SoFi?
thing.
No, SoFi is covered. It won't rain inside.
Yeah.
SoFi's
it's got
covered.
like
They
that
have the open on
Dorito
the
chip
side,
looking
doesn't-
thing.
SoFi is covered though. No, it's
The
covered.
sides are open, but
Yeah,
unless
it
it's
won't-
raining, unless it's a hurricane.
Either way,
It's like strategic.
either way.
Yeah.
Either way. Come on, Allegiant Stadium's way better.
According to Marissa's godfather, who went to the Niner Raider game, he said Allegiant it's just different. It's just
Dude.
like there's a reason why it's in
Shout out
Vegas.
Bill Burr, my favorite comic. He just went to the Raiders Patriots game because he's from Boston, Patriots fan.
Yeah.
He said, "I've been to.
there's no
I live in
comparison.
LA. I've been to SoFi. Allegiant is way better than SoFi."
Yeah, I heard it's just different. Other than he said the $20 margaritas, he's like, that kind of sucked. But he's like, no.
I can go to a liquor
you know
store.
what?
Sean, you know us. We can go to a liquor store 20 minutes down the road and find a cheap bottle of liquor and have a good time at
now.
Allegiant Stadium. You know what I'm
Come on
saying?
now, for sure. Oh man.
So, I mean,
You don't even have to go anywhere down the road in Vegas, man. Down the whole road, there's going to be some alcohol, boy.
There's also gonna be a lot of these right here.
all right, guys. Who do you guys got this Monday?
Georgia. Unfortunately, Georgia.
Georgia money line spread. Both.
Georgia, whatever you want. Georgia is just Georgia.
I'll go Georgia money line TCU spread.
Yeah, I wish TCU. I want TCU.
TCU taking it all, baby.
All right, we have
Let's go. Hey,
all half and half and all.
Let me be wrong. Please go TCU.
TCU
But
taking it
That's
all.
true.
it's hard to
baby.
go against.
Sonny
hard to get
Dykes
some
gets
doubts.
one.
I agree.
Sandoval.
Okay.
It's hard to win back-to-back, Kirby. It's hard to win back-to-back with your 25-year-old quarterback.
Right.
The same age as. Did you see that? They're
Older
like,
than Purdy.
Josh Allen. He's like 25 and been in the league for 4 years, and Stetson Bennett's 25. 25.
You know, I think I'd be more. They
Who's
gotta be more
Whedon?
strict on
Dang.
these rules,
Who's it,
bro. What school
Whedon?
is it? They got like a 29-year-old, bro. They gotta be better with these rules, bro. Like a
29-year-old.
I swear, bro. There's this small school, bro. It's like 28 or 29. I swear, bro.
Wow.
It's crazy.
What Whedon?
That's a grown man.
What Whedon?
Oh, Whedon was like 27 when he got drafted, I think.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right, man.
Oklahoma State.
Let's end the podcast with a little bit of EPL talk.
Yeah.
Manchester United at Old Trafford against Bournemouth.
Top four, baby. Top
Top
four, baby.
Let's go. 3-0. Another clean sheet. What's that, Sean? Unbeaten in 16 straight now?
forget
For
your
No,
clean sheet.
not 16 or nice is 17 now. I think 16 was before yesterday.
Right.
I think it's 17 now.
You have but I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, unfortunately, in this day and age in the EPL, unfortunately, you have Manchester City to minus 250. This is coming from VegasInsiders.com. Minus 250 for Man City, a plus 250 for Arsenal, and everybody else is in the thousands for odds.
Just looking at games
Georgia.
right now, I know.
But look how many games they played. They've only played 17
17
18
games.
games, and they already have minus 250, plus 250, and boom, Liverpool at like a plus like 1,000 or something. It's crazy.
Liverpool's off to a slow start, but it's just because the other teams are still maintaining those only one or two losses. Liverpool just has freaking 5 losses. Turn those into draws. But 5 losses this early. You only had 28
So Man
points.
City's going to creep up slowly but surely, and before they hit
they're gonna
30,
catch 'em.
38
They're gonna catch
games
'em.
or whatever, they're about halfway through the season. Almost. They're not
Arsenal-
even halfway through the season. It's a minus 250 for Man City.
Arsenal already drew today, and City has a game in hand, so they'll be at 39 points after their next win, 5 behind. Don't worry. The big thing is United. United has some huge fixtures coming up. I think they actually do have Arsenal coming up, and I think it's either United, Newcastle United, or it might even be City coming up at some point. So I mean, dude, United.
They have. You're very correct, Sean. They have the third round of the FA Cup against Everton this month. quarterfinals for the Carabao Cup against
Jabroni Cup.
who is that? Carlton Athletic. Oh wow, did I play for them in FIFA?
Division 2, Division 3.
Division 3, whatever.
Cup.
And then to round out the month, on the 14th of January, they have at home against Man City, and then at Arsenal on the 22nd. So Man City, so the top 2 teams they played this month, if they can escape with 4 points, 2 points, 2 points, 4
2
points.
games. United's played 18, City's at 16.
I would say
by the time
I'd say between those 2 games, I'm sorry, get
4
a
points.
point. I'd say get a point. A tie against somebody, and then probably a loss.
No, you beat Arsenal. You beat Arsenal. You want to beat Arsenal. I just think I'm not sold on Arsenal just yet, man. I'm not sold on Arsenal just yet.
All right.
I think United wins one of those games.
Okay.
I think
Probably
United
Arsenal
definitely
then.
wins one of those games. Yeah,
Hopefully tie Man City and then beat Arsenal. Okay.
that's my guess, brother.
What about you, Mark? You're kind of quiet on your freaking.
Yeah, well, man, when you get beat by Brentford, I guess it's not that bad.
Brentwood?
Brentwood or
No,
Bedford?
Brentford.
Sorry, which one is that?
Bedford, yeah.
Bedford?
Man,
Way to start the new year off.
They got back-to-back wins between us and Tottenham, so they're in form as of
They're
late.
playing the Wolves
but
on Saturday.
Ninth
Wolves
place.
Being relegated the way they're playing.
Chelsea's 4 spots. Chelsea's a couple spots away from
They play Chelsea on the 21st.
actually making the big 6 in 1 through 6 because they're the only ones that actually Newcastle United is the ones that are not holding them out, but they're the ones that are taking one of those top 6 spots with the other top 5 of the top 6: Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Tottenham, and Liverpool. Liverpool is just a lot left to be desired this year, man. I do like that signing that they just got. I think that's going to be huge. Sean
You guys
says
only make that signing because Darwin's playing like crap. Darwin's scoring goals for you guys. You guys don't make that signing, in my opinion. Darwin sucks for you guys right now. He's just not in form. He is not scoring goals.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing good right before the World Cup. I mean, you're going to put
man.
2 games on him like that?
He has 5 goals in 5 goals in 17 games. I mean, one every more than 3 games. Sorry, bro, you're my top striker. I need a little bit more than that.
What happened with my guy, Diogo Jota?
He's still hurt. I mean, he got
Still
hurt.
got hurt, huh?
Yeah, he's still one of those muscle injuries. I mean, you guys are so loaded now. I mean, Firmino's going to leave, just, a free agent. You're not going to redo his contract. You got Gakpo now, who's a freaking star. Darwin,
Luis Diaz.
Salah, Luis Diaz, Jota. I mean, it's just.
Where's Firmino going to go? He's been solid.
He'll probably go.
Home country?
He's a solid.
Maybe back to
Another
Brazil or
country,
something.
yeah.
I'll probably go back to Brazil. Maybe Al Sayer.
Something like
He'll play
that.
Ronaldo.
So just to round out the top 4 for you guys, Arsenal at 44, Man City behind 8 points, Newcastle right there at 35, with Manchester United at 35 as well. That's the top 4. 5 points clear of, clear is what Manchester United is of Tottenham at 30 points, Liverpool at 28. Those are your top 6. And the bottom 4, West Ham United at 14, Nottingham Forest at 14 points, Wolverhampton Wanderers
Struggling,
3 wins, 4 ties,
the
10 losses.
10 losses.
Only
That's
one
the
of
problem.
5 teams with double-digit losses at 13 points, and Southampton running at the top of the shit list at 12 points. But you have here, it's pretty crazy. We talk about baseball and hockey and basketball, the point differential and stuff. If you just look at the top 10, they're in green. Bottom 10, they're in red.
Red.
It's pretty crazy.
Blood.
It's like literally top 10 are in green in point differential and goal differential, 11 through 20, red.
What about the Minnesota Vikings? Red at 12-4. How that works, I don't know.
Because they're
That's
because
crazy.
they're 11-0 in single score games.
Single score games, and when they lose, they get bound.
Because that was the Dallas Cowboys game. The Dallas Cowboys game threw it off.
Yeah.
Threw it off. Just like our penis length, average in America, we know. So I think
You're a
that's
odd man.
the odd
Very
man out,
odd
baby.
man, Mike.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it for the episode 172 of the Comic Bookies podcast. If you guys don't have anything else, I think we're done. The first episode of the new year was amazing. Thank you guys so much. We're just at about 2 hours of live. That's half of what Yak was today, Mark. That was an amazing episode. Did you watch any of the highlights? Sean.
A little bit.
Please subscribe to Yak.
Okay,
YAK. It's just a random. It's just a random podcast from Barstool Sports. It's Big Cat. I'm sure you know who Big Cat is.
Big Cat Lafleur.
We don't fight fail.
we don't fight fail.
But it's a bunch of people. And today they spent 60% of their show on they trapped everyone, and it was a fart eliminator match. So all you had to do to get out of the game was to just fart on command on the microphone.
I might do pretty good on that.
And so, Sean would win. But they ordered like not Rubio's, but something like Rubio's bowls with like extra beans, hot sauce. They had Spider go get freaking Mountain Dew and ice cream, and anything with dairy. Sean is like freaking white chicks.
When I say dairy,
like anything with dairy, Sean is like, so it was funny. But anyways, amazing start to the year for the Comic Bookies podcast. Many more to come. Hopefully a brand new show as well to come. But Sean, Mark, send us away for episode 172, please.
Like Mike said, man, first episode of the year, starting off with a bang. Episode 172, a good one, man. You guys seen all the information we provide week in and week out. This is just the beginning. Obviously, football season. We're quickly approaching the playoffs, but just stepping aside from the game itself. Just another prayer for Damar Hamlin and just him keep getting better, man. Because at the end of the day, this is just our enjoyment. These guys are human beings on there, and we just got to have that heart, man, because, what happened yesterday just can't happen. We just got to be better. But podcast itself, we're going to keep coming out of fire. Treasure Island Comics TI, Alex, you are the man. Week in and week out, you support us. We're always going to support you. Make sure you guys support your local comic book shops, just like Mike said. None of these little third-party jabronis. Just support the small businesses, because like Mark said also, man, inflation, people are struggling out here. So definitely help people out if you got extra spare change. And yeah, just keep supporting the Comic Bookie podcasts. We don't charge. Come download us, subscribe, check us out, and keep interacting with us, man. Twitter's live 24/7. So hopefully we'll hear you guys, insight. And yeah, thanks, guys.
We don't charge. That's very true. But instead, we give out. If you guys follow us on YouTube, Comic Bookies, please follow us there. You'll see Mike's short getting up more giveaways that we're going to be having pretty soon, books and whatnot. So check that out, and always check out our social media as well. Like Sean said, Twitter at the Comic Bookies, Instagram at the Comic Bookies. You want to write us an email, you can also do that. The Comic Bookies at gmail.com will be able to deliver us that beautiful email from you guys. And yeah, just fun to get back, fun to finally be in a new year and see what it's going to bring. Hopefully it brings inflation down, and hopefully it inflates our damn podcast and even gives us better numbers and bigger audience and just even bigger horizons and bigger dreams for all three of us and our fans included. So thank you, everybody involved. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Treasure Island Comics, like we always say this time. So take it away, Mike. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mark and Sean. To round out the episode for 172, we have the top 5 to 10 areas of the United States downloading us over the last 10 episodes. We have the San Francisco Bay Area at number 1, the Valley out here in Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto at number 2, Medford, Klamath Falls up in Oregon at number 3, and across the United States, 3,000 miles away, New York at number 4, and Boston, Massachusetts, Manchester at Boston at number 5. Washington, D.C. rounding out the top 10 in Hagerstown, number 6, Amarillo, Texas, Detroit, Michigan, Las Vegas, Nevada, and coming back to the West Coast, the best coast, L.A., Los Angeles, California, number 10. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 172, everyone. Thank you, Mark and Sean, for jumping on with us for a 4th year of this goddamn podcast. We are almost at 175, almost 200 episodes of this podcast. Come 2 months from now, we are at 4 fucking years doing this shit. We love it. We love talking sports, talking comics with everyone. We love you. Thank you so much for everyone who's been involved, in the United States, in Europe, Asia, South America, everyone who's been involved, the person who's been downloading us every episode in Belgium. Like, please, if you're listening,
homie.
please,
You the homie.
like, reach out to us. Like, please reach out to us, and we're going to send you some shit, please.
Call in.
Please.
We'll get you live.
But anyways, thank you so much for joining us for episode 172. 173 is live next week, right after the national championship for the college football season. For Mark, Sean, this is Mike. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace the hell out. Happy New Year. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace, and always enjoy each other and enjoy 2023 the best you can, and rest in peace to Ken Block and Barbara Walters, and we're praying for you, Damar. Peace.